Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So tonight I figured I would take a little break from the Rocket Bunny 240 videos and do a little tutorial with the Miata. 8 days from now I am going to be autocrossing this car, and one of the things I wanted to do beforehand, before the event, were front pads and rotors. So tonight I'll be working on my 2000 Mazda Miata, and I'll be showing you guys the driver's side. I have already done the passenger side like 30 minutes ago. And then the parts I'll be installing tonight, I'm just a vented, drilled, slotted rotor, and then StopTech sport pads. Okay, so the first thing I'll be doing is removing the top bolt from the caliper bracket. That's just a 14mm bolt. So I put the ratchet on, just hit it with a rubber mallet to break it loose. So with that 14mm bolt gone, the top of the caliper can move off of the bracket. Go ahead and pull out your old pads and the tension springs. You don't need those anymore. But then on the back of the hub, there are two more 14mm bolts, and yeah, we have to remove those as well. So yeah, I've just got a 14mm wrench now on the back of the hub to remove the caliper bracket. That's one. And then the second caliper bracket bolt is down lower on the hub, so I have the wrench on it right now. But yeah, you can, if you just peek in, you'll see it. There's no other bolts there to mix them up. And now the caliper will be loose, so just have one hand on it while you use your other hand to remove the bolt completely. Okay, so with that bolt gone, now remove the caliper off of the hub and remove your other pad. And then at this point, you can actually just pull out the bracket off of the top of the caliper. They will be separate pieces now. Keep in mind that this top of the caliper is still held in by the brake line, so to keep a hand on it, and then get a bungee cord or a zip tie or a piece of rope and just hook it on to your strut so you can let go of it. And that'll hang freely without putting pressure on the brake hose. And then hopefully, if you don't live in a salty area, like salt on the road, not a beach, your rotor should come off freely. If not, just give a tap on the top and the bottom a couple times and hopefully you'll be able to get it off. Just a quick thing, if you are having problems getting your rotor off, there are usually threaded holes on the rotor that you can use. So you can just thread a bolt on and it'll push into the hub and separate off the hub itself. Okay, so here we have the driver's side caliper bracket. So before you remove any of the clips, I recommend doing them one at a time just so you can keep track of the orientation. And your new brake pads, they should come with brand new clips. Hopefully they do. If not, you can either purchase them separately or you can potentially reuse your old ones, so you could completely skip this step. And they just pop on and off really easily as well. You don't need any special tools to do this. Okay, so that is all for the new clips back on the caliper bracket. Then anytime with new brake parts, I do recommend spraying some parts cleaner or brake cleaner on it just to remove any chemicals that might have been residual from the manufacturing process, just so you have a good clean surface for your brake pads to hit on. Alright, now we just gotta stick the rotor back on. And now to prep the caliper for the new pad install, I would grab an old brake pad, put it against the piston, because these are single piston calipers, and then just get a piston pusher. You can get these for like less than $10 at a parts store or an Amazon. And then you just gotta spread the piston push it back inside the caliper. That way it'll make the pad install a lot easier for you. Again, this is more of an optional step, so you can get away without this, but it does make the job a lot easier depending on how worn your old pads are. Mine weren't that bad, so I might not have needed to do it, but I just do it out of good practice anyways. Okay, so this next step I find easier to do with the bracket off the car, but basically you just got to grab the backside pad, put it inside the bracket lined up in the clips, and then just get the bracket in place where it'll go when the rotor or the caliper is back on. Just lightly thread on the two mounting bolts so you don't have to hold it. Okay, and then with it on loose, you can still wiggle it around. Just get the other brake pad in. Okay, so with both pads in, now you just got to take your tension springs, and you'll notice that there's two little prongs on them, and then on each end of the pad there are two holes. So just get one prong inserted into the little hole there, and then the other one in the other side, and just keep one hand on it because there is tension on it now, so they will want to shoot out. And same thing for the bottom pin. Keep a hand on it the entire time. And then getting near the end, so we're just gonna have one hand to pinch the pads. Gonna grab the top of the caliper with the other hand. Just gonna insert the guide pin into the bottom. So now I can just close it like a clamshell almost. And yeah, just hold that there still. Get your old screw. You want to make sure it's clean and greased before reinserting it. And then just start threading that back in. I haven't looked up the exact torque specs, you can find them online. I just do it by hand. I have a pretty good feel for what they should be. Yeah, so that is good, and then we just have to tighten the two caliper bracket bolts on the back. They're both 14mm, so just tighten those. Again, you can find the torque spec online if you would like to. I don't have them off the top of my head. I want to guess they're around 30 or 40 foot-pounds, but again, that's just a guess. I don't know, don't quote me on that. Then with the top bolt, it can be a little difficult to fit a ratchet in there, so all I do is grab a wrench to do the final tightening. So yeah, we are now good. Of course the rotor is still going to wiggle around a little bit. That'll all go away when you have the actual wheel on and the lug nuts tightened on. Please always tighten your wheels with a torque wrench. I didn't show it on camera, but I'm actually about to do it right now. I'm going to look up the torque spec. I don't remember what it is from Miatas, but yeah, always make sure you do that. You don't want your wheels falling off. That would be a bad situation for everyone. So yeah, that is just a quick video on the brake pads and rotors for the front of a Mazda Miata. The process is the same from 94 to 2005. I'm sure even the early NAs are the same. Just a slightly smaller caliper, that'll be the big difference. I know this was a shorter video, but I do like to throw on tutorials on my channel every so often. So yeah, if you guys like the video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Yeah, I will see you guys next time. Peace out, and thank you so much for watching.